Welcome to another album ranking. Today we're going to be doing Dimmu Borgir, or as Jamie Horsley likes to say it, Dimmu Booger. And we're going to rank the discographies from my least favourite to my favourite. One of the first black metal bands I got into alongside Cradle, you know, the kind of entry level ones. And they just helped me love the genre as a whole. So, you know, big props to Dimmu. Love them. I love most of the discography. There is a couple of missteps, which we'll get to right fucking now. So the biggest is Abrahadabra. I don't like this one. This is one of the ones I don't like. The others I can kind of tolerate-ish. This is the one where everything up until this point, it was starting to get not too good. The couple of albums before this one. Then it hit this one and I was like, what is this? This is fucking nonsense. This is awful. I mean, it was just too overly symphonic. It was just too overly cheesy. There wasn't too many good riffs. There wasn't too many good vocal lines. There was nothing memorable aside from that. It just kind of just was like, this is the worst album, just slamming you in the face. Like, yeah, all those other albums, no, this is the fucking worst one. And even the name Abrahadabra, like, it's hocus pocus, you know. It's just heebie-jeebie, ooh, spooky. It's that kind of black metal. Whereas like all the early stuff kind of takes itself seriously and is kind of really fucking good. You know, really fucking good. I love those albums. This one, it was just a slap in the face, and I never recovered from it. My face is still red from Abrahadabra. Never fucking recovered. But let's move on from that pile of shit. Let's move on to brighter, greener pastures. Well, ish. Eonian is next, the latest album. And, you know, I can kind of dig it. I prefer it. I way prefer it to Abrahadabra. It still has the fucking symphonic elements, but they've kind of ramped it up to 11 on this one, and they kind of embrace the cheese rather than taking it super seriously. Like some of these songs, like the Council of Wolves and Snakes, where it's like, and it goes like tribal, and it's like, what the fuck am I listening to? It's unique, you know. I don't hate this album. On re-listening, I when it first came out, I fucking hated it. I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever fucking heard in my entire life. But now, re-listening to it again and again, I'm kind of like, you know, it's got that Ghost quality, where it's like cheesy, but fun. Cheesy, and I love Ghost. So, Ionian's fine. It's a fine album if you give it the time and just you know, forget about everything, have fun with it, and you'll be dancing around to some of the songs and singing to some of the symphonic metal songs, because it's a poppy black metal album, yes, and if you hate that shit, you'll fucking hate this. You'll give it a 0. I can kind of enjoy it, so, you know, it's a 7 for me, but, you know, my scores are like, you know, a 7 for me is probably like a 4 for some people, the amount of 10s I give out, but Ionian, you know, not as bad as I first thought, but still not that good, so it's, you know, it's here. Next up, Progenies of the Great Apocalypse. This is the first album I heard by them, and, you know, I was impressed back in the day. I was like, this is fucking awesome. There's kind of an industrial flair to this black metal as well on this album. Progenies of the Great Apocalypse being the very first song I heard by Dimmu, and I still love that song. I still think Progenies is great. The album as a whole, it's fine, but re-listening, kind of disappointing. You know, kind of disappointed with it. It wasn't as amazing as I remembered. When I listened to the entire discography for this ranking, wasn't as amazing as I remembered. Kind of flat, to be honest. It's kind of like a 7. It's on par with Ionian. On par. But like the songs that stand out more than the ones on Ionian, in my opinion, like Progenies. So it's going a little bit higher, but they're both 7. They're both alright. And that leads us to Insorti Diablo, or Diaboli, however the fuck you say it. This one's way better. From here on out, love these albums. Yeah, those 3, alright. Here on out, fucking awesome. Starting with this one, and there's so many good songs on here. The Serpentine Offering, The Sacrilegious Scorn, which has one of the best music videos ever. If you've not seen the music video to The Sacrilegious Scorn, you're doing yourself a disservice. Go watch it. Have some popcorn. It's cheesy as fuck, but the music itself and the song itself is amazing. So, yeah, this album is fantastic, and I think it's way better than Death Cult. I think it's way better than Abrahadabra. Fuck that album. And the other one, which I've forgotten. This album is it's fucking awesome. It's like an 8.5. Really do love this album. This is the best of the newer Dimmu, in my opinion. The best of the newer Dimmu. But now we're going to get into the fucking cream of the crop. So next we have For All Tid, which is the debut, probably the most black metal sounding of all the albums. So you'd think I'd have this like top. But there's a couple of downsides. The downside is that it just doesn't hold a candle to any fucking other classic black metal album. Like, it just doesn't, in my opinion. Like, there's a lot of weird parts in the album, which I'm not the biggest fan of some of those weird sections in the album, and the singing in it is not too good for me. Like, it's biased, obviously. I still love the album, so it's a bit higher, but still can't put it higher than some of the other ones, because I think Dimmu has like a perfect era, and you'll get to those albums. There's a perfect trio of albums, a perfect quadrilogy of albums maybe, but this one just lies short of it. I know people love it. It's raw, it's got that edgy atmosphere, but I don't think it's as catchy. I think Stormblast is better. I do. I think Stormblast is way fucking better. So let's move on to Stormblast. Which I think just takes everything from All Tid and just improves on it in pretty much every way. And a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people have this last. I don't know why. I fucking adore this album. I think it just makes everything from All Tid way better. Way more interesting, cooler riffs, cooler passages, cooler symphonic parts. And I love symphonic music as well, not just a black metal fiend. I love symphonic music. I love Nightwish, I love Delane, I love Epica. So, fuck it, give me the symphonic shit as well. I just think it's a step above in every fucking way. And then the remaster, or I guess it's the remaster, in 2005, even better? Even better? That one just improves the sound quality, improves, pretty much everything about the album. So, yeah, fucking 9 out of 10. Stormblast. Love it. We're getting into the good shit, the amazing shit now. I love Stormblast. And now let's move on to the next one. The next spiritual black dimensions. This is the Holy Trio. The Holy Trio. These 3 fucking albums are pure 10 out of 10s. Pure perfection. And this is one of them. Every song on this, there's only 9 songs on it, but every song on it is a killer. Every song is just fucking amazing mix of black and symphonic. And they managed to do it really perfectly with these 3 albums. Like, it's hard to choose one over the other, but for me, the songs on this one, although they're fantastic, I just think the songs in the other albums a little bit more memorable. But this still has some fucking kick-ass songs on. Reptile, Dreamside Dominions, Promised Future Aeons, Arcane Life Force Mysteria. Like, every song is fucking awesome. Pop this album on now. Amazing. Amazing album. But, there's just 2 others which tickle my fancy more. And they are fighting for top spot. They are fucking fighting for top spot. Number 2, Puritanical, Euphoric, Misanthropia. I think I've said that right. They love to do mouthfuls with black metal, don't they? This one is so almost one. This is a 10 out of 10. Kings of the Carnival Creation, Puritania, Burn in Hell, which is so fucking fun. I'm gonna burn in hell. Come on. Like, this album is flawless. Puritania especially, what a fucking amazing melody in that song. Amazing. 10 out of fucking 10. Adore this album. Love everything about it. Burn in Hell, what an amazing closer. Like, so cheesy. It's kind of like Pornography's Temptation, but I fucking love it. Give me all that shit. Love that shit. Yeah, this album, it's flawless. If you have this top, I'll be like, I almost had it top. Real struggle, but I gotta give it to the next one. Enthrone, Darkness, Triumphant. It is the best. It is the best. Re-listening, I was like, oh shit, Puritanical is gonna be best. This is amazing. Then I got to Darkness, because I did it in a weird order. And I was like, holy fuck, this is the similar sound. It's when they started to do the more symphonic-y shit. It's the similar sound, but it just sounds darker. Like, it's got darkness in the name, and it sounds darker. Like, the whole atmosphere is darker, but it still has a symphonic flair, and it's still catchy as fuck. So, easily number one. Easily number one. merges the best of both worlds in a perfect concoction, which creates Enthrone, Darkness, Triumphant. Masterpiece. Morning Palace, Spellbound by the Devil, Entrance, there's too many good songs, and they all sound evil. They sound cool, they sound evil. It has that dark atmosphere, and it's not cheesy. It's not fucking cheesy like some of the later ones. So this album's flawless. So's Puritanical. So's Spiritual Black Dimensions, and I love Stormblast as well. So Thrall's Tid's okay. Insorti Diablo is pretty good. The rest, meh. So that is my ranking for Dimmu Borgir. Did I say that right? It sounds weird. Borgir. So that was my ranking for Dimmu. Let me know in the comments below your favourite Dimmu albums. What would you rank differently to my list? Pop them down in the comments below, and we'll see you again on another Quest for Metal.